Prior Lake is in the ecoregion of the Big Woods, typified by a varied landscape that has a lot of topography, maple basswood forest, oak forest. As agriculture came in, we did a lot more connecting of the upstream water resources, draining and filling the wetlands, putting them into agricultural production. In the upper watershed, we still have a lot of agricultural uses. The lower part of the watershed right near the lakes is highly developed now.
The community rallies around their lakes. And I think that's why back in 1970, some pretty smart people said, we got to start taking care of this for the long haul.
Lake residents were concerned with the high fluctuation of the water levels on Prior Lake. And so then I started digging through records of Prior Lake that would show the high water and the low water. And it showed a fluctuation in water level of over 20 feet. Everyone knew that if you got a landlocked basin, you got to get the excess water out of the basin.
And it just made for a lot of damage on the lakeshore. A lot of erosion. That's not good for the fishery. It's not good for real estate. It's not good for the community.
We got a hold of an attorney and discussed with him and looked at all the possibilities. It was in quite a few years, contacting the county board if the county could do anything. And the project was getting larger and larger.
We need one body to come in here and address the problem. That's what watershed districts do best.
So we petitioned for the authority to form a watershed district and see how we could fund a project like this, an outlet to Prior Lake that everyone can live with.
The outlet channel goes to Upper Jeffers Pond, then Lower Jeffers Pond, through another channel to Pike Lake, through another channel north past the city border on to Deans Lake and Blue Lake, and then the Minnesota River.
A watershed district is formed so that it can take care of the water quality and quantity issues over the watershed area. It pays no attention to any kind of a county boundary or a city boundary, anything.
It doesn't quit flooding just because that's the county line.
There are about 5 municipalities that the watershed district services. You can see that the boundaries of the municipalities are political boundaries, and the watershed district's boundaries are defined by topography.
We are the agency that's charged with receiving a citizen petition to create a new watershed district. So we, the Board of Water and Soil Resources, we create them following a public hearing process and deliberation on whether or not this is an area and a purpose for which a watershed district is well suited.
Good afternoon, Watershed District.
The watershed district was formed. The county board appoints the members on the board, which are 5 members. The members have taxing power, but are not elected, and that's unique.
But even though they're assigned as a county representative, they are encouraged to look at the watershed as a whole. Well, sometimes you have to do things upstream in order to control the flooding downstream.
Under watershed, people seem to come together. You find out how to find compromises and what to do to try to achieve that goal.
You have standards, you have enforcement mechanisms, but what you try to do is work collaboratively with the other units of government. So in fact, you're all working together and pulling the same way.
This is a form of local government, and so you find local governments tailoring it to their particular community's needs. And there's plenty of times where some of these watershed districts are ahead of where the state agencies are with their capabilities.